Gotta talk about Pantera. Okay? Gotta talk about Pantera. I guess my backstory with Pantera is I'm a metalhead, of course. Of course, I am a Pantera fan. Am I a Pantera fanatic? No, I've never been a Pantera fanatic. And I'm the type of music fan, too, where I'll go back and I'll get, like Joy Division, I'll get into things way after its prime. And I kind of did that with Pantera, especially after Dimebag passed away. Like, of course, I listened to Pantera when Dimebag was alive, you know. But it was just kind of a casual type of thing. Like, I never bought any Pantera albums at the time. But, man, I definitely acknowledge the talent. I appreciate Pantera a lot more now after he passed away because I went back and I did listen to a lot of their music. And he is, he is definitely a groundbreaking guitar player. A groundbreaking guitar player. I know they were both really big Kiss fans, too. Like, they were both buried in Kiss caskets. And, you know, people always give Vinnie Vincent, rightfully so, a lot of crap. Vinnie Vincent was Kiss's guitarist for a little bit of Creatures of the Night. He like played on like half of that album, I think, and then Lick It Up. He was on the entire album of Lick It Up, and then he had his own solo career, Vinnie Vincent Invasion. And the reason I mentioned Vinnie Vincent is because his guitar very similar to Dimebag's guitar. I don't think it's, and I'm not a guitar aficionado, but I believe his guitar was similar to Dimebag's, but I believe Dimebag's style of playing is a little similar to Vinnie Vincent's. I think he has a much more control, Dimebag, over his playing than Vinnie Vincent did. Vinnie Vincent could really get carried away. Vinnie Vincent was so talented with the guitar that it was almost like too easy for him, and so he couldn't really hone it in as much as he should, and that was part of his downfall. Was a lot of people that he worked with, including members of Kiss, including, you know, Vinnie Vincent Invasion. Mark Slaughter was the lead singer of that band. They hated working with the guy because he would just ball hog. You know, when he would play, he'd always have to have like an extra long solo. One time, Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, they pulled the plug on him because he was just going on too long. So I'm a huge Vinnie Vincent fan, though. Those are like two of my favorite Kiss albums. The talent is undeniable. Okay, I've always loved his style of playing, and as soon as I heard Pantera, it does have a little bit of that vibe of Vinnie Vincent's guitar vibe in it. And Dimebag, man, he just had these really heavy, chunky riffs, but he was just much more constrained, you know, and he was more song focused, you know. He would do solos and stuff like that, of course, but he really kind of dressed his guitar work around the song. You know, it was more focused on the song than him showboating. Dimebag was never a showboat, you know? And I think that's one reason why people loved the guy so much and still love him. Okay, so the next thing about Pantera was when they broke up because Phil Anselmo left. He was having chronic back pain, and they just had a big falling out, really. He wouldn't show up, I think, to, you know, he wouldn't return phone calls. He wouldn't show up to rehearsals. And eventually they just gave up. Dimebag and Vinny, they just gave up on him. And it was a nasty falling out, you know. And they were never able to bring it back around, sadly. And it wasn't even a thing like it was amicable. There was hostility still looming in the air by the time Vinny died. And Vinny even stated, you can find a YouTube short of him, stating that there will never be a Pantera reunion. Ever. There will never, ever, ever be a Pantera reunion. Okay? And like Erica said, it was just very sad, you know, because a band with that much talent to never do it. Oh my God. Destiny Lee, did you post your Spotify Wrapped? I'm not Destiny. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Wrapped. You'll have to let me know. You'll have to let me know. But yeah. So anyway, Vinnie Paul passes away, and then Phil Anselmo and Rex, they decide let's get Zakk Wylde and the drummer from Anthrax. Guys, what's his name? I always forget. And I love Anthrax. I can't remember his name. He's a great drummer. But he's paying ultimate respect to Vinnie Paul, too, in his playing. But the four of them got together, and they did a show. They've done, I think, 2 shows now. The first one was in Mexico. End of year summer. I haven't posted that yet for Spotify. I need to do that. Thank you. It should be on your Spotify. When you go into the app, it tells you your top artists and songs in your past year and how long you've spent listening to. I'll definitely check that out. Thank you, Destiny. So, now here's the big question. There's definitely some anger, some controversy in the air, because in a lot of people's minds, Vinnie and Dimebag would not want this. Or would they? Who knows? I mean, I don't think they would have wanted to be a part of it, at least at this point. And look, guys, we all think stuff in our minds that we don't dare say out loud because of pride, because we're not sure that we even think it, at the time. I don't know. So could Vinnie have maybe thought in his mind, you know what? At the end of the day, it would be nice if Phil and I got into a room and talked. I bet that thought was in his head. Was he ready to tell it to the public? No, I don't think he was, okay? Because it does feel good to forgive. Forgiving is like one of the greatest feelings ever, It takes a load off your chest. And I think he probably would have liked that. So there's another notion here too, okay? And this goes with movies, this goes with music, and you might disagree with this, but once a movie is thrust onto the public, once music, hey Beth, how are you doing? Once music is thrust onto the public, it doesn't belong to the artist anymore. It belongs to the public. It's ours now, okay? And so I think, monetarily it belongs to the artist. All right? Okay, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying in the zeitgeist, it belongs to the audience, and they'll take it and they'll make it a part of their lives. It could become a part of the fabric of their very being. Music is that important to me, and it's probably that important to a lot of you guys. All right. Some of us, music saves lives. It literally does that. As cheesy as that sounds, it does. So I think this was something more for the fans. I really do. I don't think, because I know that Zakk Wylde was great friends with Dimebag Darrell. So I think this was something that they knew, like, what would be the ultimate gift that we could give to the fans? What if we put a version, whoever's left of Pantera together with 2 very specifically, strategically picked drummer and guitarist, okay? This isn't the type of thing where we're going to do tryouts. All right, this is there's going to be some heart. There's going to be a relationship, a long friendship, maybe like family. So I think that's what this was. And guys, let me know what you think too. Do you think it's disrespectful to have this Pantera reunion? After I thought about it a little while, and I think the big thing was when you watch that video of the fans and their reaction to this band. You see that, guys? That's what I'm talking about. I mean, look at that crowd, and just look at how happy they are. This is over 20 years in the making. Over 20 years that the last time we saw Pantera live. So this was just, it was almost like a revival. It's like a way to honor the past. And this is something that's not going to last forever. You know, who knows how long this tour will last, but it was a beautiful thing when you watch the fans and how happy they are, you know? So I honestly have zero problem with this reunion, you know? I think it's sad that Vinnie's and Dimebag are gone, but if you're doing it for the right reasons, which is to honor them and to give it to the fans, those two things, box checked. You know, that's what you're doing here, okay? So that's why I think it's a beautiful thing to have at least a version of Pantera back, you know? So that's my thoughts on the Pantera thing.